we might have killed a moose in the most pain-in-the-ass location in the history of moose killing, and I stubbornly refuse to quarter it, so only time will tell whether this moose gets cooked. See what I did there? Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here, laughing at my own jokes. Let's play some more of The Long Dark in our Against All Odds series. So yeah, we really did kill a moose in an incredibly annoying location. We just slept through the night and recovered some condition, some of our lost condition. I'm a little bit concerned as I begin this episode. Let's step outside real quick. I'm a little bit concerned that the weather might worsen. Wait, where am I? Oh, I'm on the other side of the... I went out a different door by mistake. It's actually not that cold at the moment. It's also not windy at all. Huh. This actually might be an ideal time to go back and keep working on the moose. I didn't see this coming. Okay, well, we might go ahead and step back out there because it's not that cold. What I was going to say about my concern... Hang on, let's take a look at the calorimeter. We're okay there. I'm going to go ahead and eat this venison, though. Alright, so I've got a couple of small pieces of meat on me. I'm going to drop both of those just because they're somewhat heavy. My concern was that we didn't hear a blizzard overnight. And since we didn't hear a blizzard, it's like, when is there going to be one? You know? Like, this is a setting... We're playing on a difficulty where it's custom. It's not interloper setting. And see? See? See what I'm talking about? Look what's materializing in the air as I speak. I guarantee you this is going to become a blizzard within 12 hours. So maybe it's not the best time to go and work on the moose. But part of me wants to still try and light a fire. Hang on. Part of me wants to try and light a fire anyway. I confess I didn't use as much of my lantern oil as I thought I did when I broke down the crates last time we were in here. So I kind of want to do that some more, if I can find them. I could also go into the warehouse and get wood that way. Just want to harvest a bunch of wood that I can throw onto a fire quickly-ish. Another solution would be to wait until daylight and then go in and gather it without burning lantern oil, which I will probably do, especially if there's a blizzard and we have nowhere to go. That would be a perfect way to spend our time. I actually really like that idea. The only problem is that right now we still have to wait for sunrise. So, tell you what, let's go ahead. All right, the game is saying I'm quote-unquote not tired enough. Let's go ahead and pass the time for 2 hours. Just 2. And then, let's sleep for 2 hours. Just to recover a little bit more condition. A little bit more. And there she is. Without fail. All right, we've recovered a bit of condition. I do see that it's, obviously the sun has risen. So we need to step outside and run in. Okay, now we can go to town. I don't have a lot of food on me at the moment, but there's food outside the door. So let's go ahead and drink some water just to lighten my load a little bit. How much cloth am I carrying on me? Still 10 cloth? How am I doing condition-wise on my clothing? I need to get some new rabbit skin to repair the hat before its condition drops too much farther. I could repair the decent ski jacket. That would take 40 minutes to repair. Okay, well, I'm not going to spend that time right now. Did the blizzard already stop? No, it's still going. Okay, it sounded like it might have stopped. Yeah, I'm going to break down just as much stuff wood-wise in here as I can, because this is going to give me the fuel that I need for that fire. Hey, a whetstone. Didn't see that previously. Glad I popped my head back in here. So this is probably going to weigh me down. It's a lot of wood to carry around. But a worthwhile pursuit, to be sure. Yeah, the metal table can be broken down with the hacksaw, but I'm not going to worry about that. Speaking of hacksaws, I remember having extra tools. I need to drop that. Okay, there's not going to be any wood up here. There's wood down there, though, that's for sure. So there's lots of wood in here that I can harvest. How much do I already have? 14? That's 7 hours of fire right there. Break down the shelf. This would take 1 hour and 30 minutes. And give me a tinder plug. Speaking of tinder, hang on. Don't need you anymore. Don't need you anymore. I don't need any tinder. None. Whatsoever. Go away. Be gone. Because I have, if you need a reminder, level 3 fire starting. Can start fires without tinder. Fires also last 10% longer, which is nice. So I'm kind of hoping that this blizzard dies and then we get some nice, calm weather for a bit. That would be ideal. Up. I think it's gone. I think it's gone. I think it's gone. I think it's gone. All right, let's drink some water. Hopefully that will do away with my encumbrance. There it goes. All right. Let's do this. Okay, still windy. Still cold. Not a fan of that. But it's not windy enough to put a fire out.
Man, I'm not sure I can carry much more.
I'm going to eat these 2 mini steaks. And then I don't think I'm going to worry about carrying that one around. We're going to need more water soon-ish. I don't think it's windy enough to put a fire out. Yeah, we're not going to use a revolver on a wolf this episode, guys. That's not happening. Why is my sprain risk already that high? What happened? Why am I suddenly encumbered? I wasn't encumbered a second ago. Lucy, you got some splaining to do. Seriously, what happened? You guys saw that, right? It has nothing to do with my tiredness. Because I'm not at 50% tiredness yet. What in the world? I didn't pick anything up. I mean, I picked up the meat, but I ate it. I don't understand what just happened. I mean, it's okay. It's barely slowing me down. All right, now it is going to be tough without a stick, unless I find one up here, which I probably will because there was a blizzard. It is going to be tough without a stick to start a fire. There's some moose meat waiting up here in the snow. And I'm hoping our moose is still on the bridge and hasn't disappeared. Good, still there. Still there. And there's a torch as well, which we might be able to use for kindling. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, that's not what I need. I need a stick. A stick. Reminds me of the, what was the fake Sony mascot's name? Kevin, his first name was Kevin. What was his last name? The old PS3 Sony mascot. God, he was fantastic. And every time I say stick with any kind of enunciation, I remember that line. Dear PlayStation, my grandma won't stop watching Blu-ray movies on my PS3. You know what she did for fun when she was your age? She pushed a hoop with a stick. And the kid tries to argue, and the guy goes, with a stick. Stick. It's funny. Good commercial. Look it up. Look up PS3 Grandma on YouTube. You'll get a laugh out of it. Kevin, I'll remember before the end of this episode, I'm sure. All right, cardboard matches, reclaimed wood. Let's go for a stick, because that's the whole reason we went for one. I'm hoping the wind dies down. least we don't lose the stick, because we don't need tinder anymore. We never have any part of our fire starting process that is consumed when we try, which is quite nice. It's an entire section of inventory. You're going to see me process cattails differently now when I pick them up, because I can drop the kindling immediately every time. All right, I probably didn't need to put all that on there right away, but I did it anyway. Deal with it. All right, now we're going to duck to reduce to some extent how visible we are. And I'm going to go ahead and get some water going. I know it's getting cold. It's okay, though. All right. So let's go ahead and do it. I did it again. I don't know why I'm doing that. All right, let's get that much meat off the moose. We're fully warm now. We're going to turn around and I'm going to drink that water. Easy enough. Pick that up. Weather seems like it's pretty nice. All right, the condition on this meat is starting to get pretty low because it's been a while since we've killed a moose, so we're going to need to be careful with that. But that's okay. Now, I guess what we can do while we're waiting on this is we can go break down that limb and have some additional wood up here. One thing I can do definitely is I'm just going to drop all of this right here by the moose because I don't need to have it on me. It's going to be used for this fire. I mean, that is an absolute truth. All right, feels like 18 degrees, so we don't have a lot of time. I'm going to pick up that torch and put it on the fire. I still have to cook the meat that I've already taken off the moose that we just walked by, so got to think about that as well. Cedar limb, 45 minutes. Go ahead and break this down. We're gonna probably lose. No, once again, that's actually pretty nice. That's 2 episodes in a row that's happened. I really thought that 45 minutes would eat up my entire coldness meter, but it's not cold enough to do that to me right now, which I love. All right, let's lower my profile a little bit. Stay low. Obviously, the meat is still cooking. Another thing we could do by this fire, since it takes an hour for these to cook, is we could, read. That could be nice, assuming the weather stays nice. So we have to do it all piecemeal, but we can definitely do it. So 4% frozen, so that's almost completely unfrozen. Quite nice. Tell you what, let me go ahead and grab some of the meat that I've already scavenged. Weather's really quite nice at the moment. It's a nice post-blizzard clear day. As a matter of fact, you can, but you're not gonna. Not yet. So there's that. How am I doing on my calorimeter? I can definitely eat one of these. Okay. We're going to put the other one in the snow. Just because there's no reason to have it with me. The good news about what I'm doing right now is that we're letting time pass while the moose hide starts to cure, but we're also building up cooking skill, and we're doing all of it while outside, so cabin fever can piss off. Cabin fever is not my favorite mechanic in the game, for those of you who are not aware. It never has been, it never will be. Well, that's not true. I think they can change things to make it better. I started a thread on Hinterland forums. If you search Cabin Fever 3.0, I think is what I called it, or Cabin Fever 2.0 maybe, in the Hinterland forums, I started a thread about it, and a lot of really good ideas were suggested, including, I think some of the ideas that I came up with were pretty cool. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head right now, but I don't feel like Cabin Fever, as it currently stands, is perfect. It feels a little bit too punishing. So that's why I talk about it with such disdain, almost as much disdain as I have for Pleasant Valley, because I just don't want to deal with Cabin Fever's nonsense. But let's see, I can read right now. Let's read this for an hour. We're going to pick up that meat. Gain some cooking skill, of course. Done. All right, now we've got another hour. The fire is still going pretty strong. We have lots of wood sitting right here, so I'm not particularly concerned about doing anything more with the fire, but one thing I will do is drink some water, just to make sure that the amount of water I have on me is not particularly encumbering. And let's go ahead this time. I do want to harvest a little bit more of the moose while these things are cooking, so why don't I go ahead and harvest, let's see, an hour's worth. Well, no, I want it to be in amounts that get evenly dropped like that. So let's harvest that much, and then we'll drop that in the snow. Because at least the condition will stay higher that way, being in nature's freezer. Watch and learn, ladies and gentlemen. This is one thing that's good to know about in the long dark. The freezers might not work when you go into people's houses, but if you want the same effect that you would expect in terms of preserving food, particularly raw meat, then what you do is you drop it in the snow. Predators won't come for it, at least not in the current version of the game. That could very well change, and that's the kind of change that might require me to do a Survival School 2019 or 2020. Oh no, here comes the wind. All right, so if the wind is starting to blow this fire out, these steaks might not get cooked. This is why we put all the fuel here, because you never know when we might have to start another one. Okay, so what could I do in the meantime? I suppose I could... Well, hang on. That torch, yeah, that didn't add anything. The torch was burned out. So, tell you what, let's get... Hang on, how much more time is needed? 16 minutes? I can do another 8.8 pounds. Okay. This is a pretty decent way to spend our days. You can see the condition on the moose meat is dropping precipitously. It's now only 19%, whereas it was 23% for the last round. So the moose is not going to last that much longer. It's because he's fully thawed at the moment, and so we kind of need to harvest him while he's here. Now the weather seems to have gotten better again, so maybe we can do that. Let's... I want to be efficient about this in terms of doing this as quickly as possible while also not attracting attention, so I am going to put down the meat as I cook it, just to be safe. But we need to finish harvesting as much as we can, and I doubt that we're going to get all of it, personally. I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, we need to have more cooking right now. My bad. Speaking of efficiency... If the weather's better, we can cook more. Let's do it. Okay. The cooking, of course, will raise the condition on that stuff. That's good, at least. I keep doing that. Why do I keep doing that? This is the one that I want to hit, not that one. All right, so we're going to go for 8.8 again. I mean, we're getting a good amount of meat out of doing this. %. Yeah, not good. Not good at all. The other solution is to quarter the carcass, but that wouldn't stop the precipitous decay. I mean, we could potentially put the quarters up in the snow. Like up there. It'd take 2 hours at this point. Yeah, at this point I'm pretty much committed to not quartering it, so like I said at the beginning of the episode, we're stubbornly refusing to quarter it. So that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Let's see. I can probably go ahead and get a little bit more off this guy in the meantime. There I go. I did it again. All right, let's go ahead and... How much time was that? Was that 15 minutes? No, 23 minutes? Yeah, we got time. fingers crossed that we can get this much more. We're also going to need more water from this fire. So I might do that next rather than cooking. We're going to drop 2 of these. I'm going to carry 2 back and cook them. Let's eat one of those. All right, those are cooking now. I need to put the ones that I'm carrying back. The one that I'm carrying back. Oh no, I've got 2. So the condition, as you can see on those, is still relatively high. Is that saying rancid moose meat? Hang on. Let's take a quick look. 54%. 12%. Yeah. We're going to get through as much of this as we can, but I also need to get back to the house soon. I've got enough water to get through the night, but what I may do... Yeah, we've got 57 minutes left. Let's go ahead and... We're almost done with this thing. Let's get 8.8 pounds more meat. We've had a productive day when it comes to handling this moose. 8%. Damn. Yeah, not all that meat is going to get cooked, I'm afraid. It's going to spoil even while in the snow, some of it at least. Okay, well, I'm just going to do the thing where I pass the time until it's ready. We're going to eat one of these partially. Pick the other one up. And then let's... get some water out of this deal. Now, while that's happening, what we can do is get the very last of this moose harvested. I mean, I know there are the guts. I'm not worried about the guts, frankly. Okay, it's going to be ready in a second, but I'm going to go ahead and put this in the snow. And then we're going to go back and rest. And hopefully cabin fever won't come back and bite us in the butt. I'm going to put this in a slightly different spot than the rest of the meat because this is the truly crappy of the crappy. At least we got the harvesting experience from that, though, which is handy. We definitely need to rest. We're going to be encumbered by the time we get back at this rate because we're so tired. All right, I'm going to drink that. Pick that up. We're already encumbered, actually. I'm going to pick that up. There's still an hour left on the fire. I'm going to take a torch just in case I get jumped, because I'm pretty damn tired. If I were to get into a wolf fight right now, it would not go well. And we're going to head back to our safe spot. My God, I just looked at the episode timer. Yeah, this is one of the concerns that I had. I think I started this thought a moment ago. This is one of the concerns that I had with spending too much time on the moose, is that, I mean, the process of doing all this, it takes time. And I prefer to be, as I've said in the past, more kinetic. The kinetics of my Long Dark play are different from others. Which reminds me, that's another topic that comes up a lot, that icon in the bottom right corner right now. One of the pieces of feedback that I receive all the time from people, and it's understandable, is, you know, you should be more efficient with the way that you leave stuff behind when you go out. You should leave your books. You should leave all the teas you're carrying. You should, you know, leave some stuff behind when you go out and hunt. I understand that feedback. What I want to make sure is clear, because I don't always voice this, is that my choosing to constantly go out encumbered is not out of just my not paying attention or my not making a conscious decision. Every time there's a wolf nearby. Every time I go outside, 1 second. Every time I go outside in the long dark, I am always assuming implicitly in the back of my mind, even though I don't always say it because I wouldn't want to say it every single time, that I might not be back. something might force me to go in a different direction, and I won't be able to come back for those supplies that I left behind. And so I like to have my stuff with me. I never like to encumber myself unnecessarily to an extreme degree, but I'm okay with being encumbered to a point. And, you know, that's just kind of where I'm at on that. So the feedback is well taken, and I think a lot of players could benefit from it. But for me, it's a playstyle choice because I do like to stay mobile. I do like to have those kinetics. And I always kind of think, you know, when I leave a place, except when I'm in a situation like this where I'm definitely staying in one place for a very specific reason, when I leave a place, I might not come back. There might not be a reason for me to come back. So that's, you know, something to consider when you're determining your playstyle for the Long Dark. And that's one of the things that makes the Long Dark a great game, is that you have the ability to play it differently. But for those of you wondering whether it's just me being silly or forgetful about the stuff I'm carrying, it's actually not. It's playstyle. Okay, so I'm going to put that away. Am I carrying any meat? Yes, I am. Let's drop that in the snow while we're out here. And before I end this episode, I am going to do a couple of things. Just find my way to a bed real quick. But I want to go ahead and rest. So, thirst-wise, I need to top myself all the way off. And I don't think no, I'm not going to drink a tea. I'm close enough to the top of the condition meter that I'm not going to worry about it. Let's just sleep for 10 hours straight. I don't think we're in such dire straits that we need to drink a tea. That's just me. Okay, and it's the beginning of a brand new day, 38 days, 13 hours, 21 minutes in this current run. I'm going to go ahead and drink this water, but I'm probably going to have to drink it again at the beginning of the next episode because that save point we just created is not going to remember that I drank that water. But I could fix that really quickly, actually. Hold that thought. There we go. Feeling my way around in the dark. That's a nice little scene to step out to. But I'm going to stop this one here. In the next one, we are going to see what we can do with the remaining meat up there. We might start one more fire if the weather's nice to us. Oh, the snow just stopped. And see where we go from there. But look at those stars twinkling up there. Cool. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.